I'm Ivar Aseron, and I've been a designer for 20 years now. I started sketching when I was in grade school, but those are like female figures with dresses. But I think I started designing, started being interested in designing when I was in college. During free time, I would sketch on like any paper, and I would collect it and I would hide it from my parents until my mom found it, and she was so interested. She liked it. She would brag to her friends. She would show it to to her relatives or her friends. My designs. In my late 20s, I happened to stumble upon this ad, like looking for a fashion designer, and I wanted to try it. It turned out that the one I'm applying for was Bobby Novenario. So he took me in, and I learned a lot from him. After that, actually, he was the one who convinced me to compete in fashion design competitions. So a year after that, after I worked for him, I resigned and I prepared for a design competition, and that's when the Young Designers Guild noticed me because they were a part of the design competition. So they asked me to apply to be a member of the group. So I got in, and that was exactly like 20 years ago. I think young designers need that foundation, like an internship under a designer, because it exposes the young designer, to a lot of things like garment construction, I guess running the business, things like that, dealing with clients. So I was exposed to that during my work under Bobby Navinario. Finding good workers, I think, is the hardest. I think you need to get their loyalty. Yeah, for me, loyalty is from workers is the biggest problem there. I find inspiration from anything like objects, architecture, even emotions. Structured, minimal, experimental.
But it's also very technical, don't you think?
Yeah, it's very technical. I see to it like that I do something new, like do something like experiment on a new pattern, experiment on a new technique. So yeah, you can say that it's technical. Yeah, of course there are changes in the industry, like for the decades I've been like I guess the the preference of the clients, also the I think because of the RDW, it has like shifted to some clients would go for RTW than having something made. because of the influx of let's say, so many brands around. Not into self promotion,
Okay.
but I think like a lot of friends and clients tell me to do so, and whenever I do, which is not that often, I get inquiries from new
So it
clients.
helps.
So it does help. Yeah, that's why I see to it that I post like um, once in a while.
Okay. Do you have a favorite client?
Ria
The
Priato.
longest client.
Ria Priato is my favorite client.
No. You have.
I think I have clients who are still around, like having, they're very loyal. I I've seen their daughters, their kids,
So I
grow
thought
up
you were
like.
gonna say weight gain and weight lose.
No, no, that too. But I think the most well, until now, it's in the young
Okay.
that I still make for and enjoy making outfits for her. She doesn't go out that much. She doesn't like the limelight. She doesn't go to events, but she likes just to dress up like every day. But of course, I would sometimes make for her for special events. Like that. I like doing designs for weddings, but sometimes it's limiting. But I like to dress up women or even men for fall. It actually depends on the person. Some women are still like conservative. Some are. It actually, really depends on the person. The person. Kasi um, like let's say a client of mine would just let me design for her. So even if I experiment on things, like she would just say, "Okay, that's okay with me." Sometimes I would just surprise her with a new design. So I think it depends on but on the person. But I think women now are more adventurous
Okay.
because they see it on other, on friends or on other women or on social media. I've I've like several. I have a lot of favorite pieces, especially from shows. Most of which are owned now by clients. So I wish to see them again. Actually, success is for me. Success is just being happy with what you're doing. It's parang wala naman um, monetary equivalence to success, but of course it does help. But for me, I don't see myself successful, but I'm successful. Um, I feel successful
I think
because
you're very successful.
because I can make uh, my own creation. I express my creativity through my creations, and I think that's success for a designer. For those young designers, you just have to focus. You have to focus on your craft. Be fearless and fearless in whatever you do. whatever creation you made. Because I was like that when I was starting. I just did whatever I wanted to do. I experimented on a lot of stuff, on a lot of details, designs. So there.